Hey guys, it's Jessi and Elsa, and today we're going to discuss how we feel about the Internment Chronicles. So the first book is
Perfect Ruin.
I got you. Good. The second book is Burning Kingdoms. And then the
last book,
yep.
The third book is Broken Crowns.
Yeah, there's like mini books in the middle, but no thanks.
No, I'm not really about that life. I feel like it ruins like the
I feel
series
like
usually.
yeah,
It takes away from it.
Yeah. So Elsa and I first read Lauren DeStefano's The Chemical Gardens trilogy before we read this, and that was like
So
how we
good.
bonded in middle school.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, it's so good.
Still
That
my
whole
favorite
series
book.
is like
Like,
awesome.
Beautiful. So I have like a Goodreads, and there was like suggestions. It was like, oh, new books coming out by this author. Wow, I can't speak. Author. And it like had Broken Crowns on there, and I was like, oh my god, Jess, there's a new book. We need to read it. And then we figured out that like we were just behind, and like this whole series had just been out.
Yep.
So we got it in a very weird order, because I feel like you already had the first book.
Yeah, I had actually bought the first book like a while ago when I first heard that she was writing the series, and then I was like at school, so I didn't have all my books with me. But then when we were discussing the fact that she had just released the last book, that's when I was like, oh, I have the first book.
Yeah.
So
we've been reading it, and so we're going to share our thoughts on it.
yeah, so for Perfect Ruin, I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. I thought it was an awesome book.
I agree.
I really liked that you kind of felt somewhat distanced from the main characters, that you were still intrigued. I liked this world building. I thought it was really thorough. And I liked like the sense of adventure that the characters had.
Definitely.
And I liked that there was like a lot of characters. I don't know. It just like seemed like her life was really intricate and wasn't just like,
yeah.
it's me and my family and we live in a small town in America, because they don't. They live on
And
a
here's
floating
my
island.
one best friend and my one boyfriend and life. Like, no. So,
Yeah.
like, it's definitely, like, interesting.
Yeah, so it's about this floating island in the sky, and there's these winds that whip around the city in order to keep the city afloat. And if you get too close to the edge of the island, you will jump, and then you'll like be thrown back onto the land.
Yeah.
And you'll end up with like disability or something. Like that happened to her brother. And a few other characters that are pretty important. And so this girl, Morgan, is like living this normal life, and she has a best friend named Penn, and a boyfriend named Basil, who's technically her betrothed.
Because they're all, like, prearranged at birth who's gonna marry who.
Mm-hmm. And then there's this like random guy who is engaged to Penn, and
Basically, Morgan's brother, Lex, was one of the jumpers, and he's gone blind as a result. And so Morgan's, like, really, like, she's very, like, caring towards, like, everybody that she knows, but she feels like she's a lot like her brother, and that she's always wondered, like, what's on the ground. And so, but she's, like, scared of, like, going through with that because she knows what it did to her brother, and she knows of the potential, like, repercussions of it, and she, like, doesn't want, like, her friends or, like, her betrothed to, like, find out that she's having these thoughts and declare her irrational. Is that what they're called? Yeah. Declare her irrational. So, like, the whole book is, like, her coming to, like, terms with that, like, sense of curiosity and wonder and adventure that she has, while also just, like, a whole bunch of other things that happen.
Well, I mean, this isn't really a spoiler, but like early in the book, this one girl is found like murdered.
Yeah.
And her betrothed is like framed for that, and then Morgan sort of like develops a friendship with that betrothed. So
sorry if you don't want to, like, we'll skip ahead. You can put whatever time
you could
stop
just
talking about
stop watching right now if you don't want to be spoiled. But now you know how we feel about the first book, because it's great.
Yeah. So basically, without giving away how this happens, they do all make it to the ground.
Yeah, they go to the ground, and
that's
the betrothed kind of leads her there. Otherwise, she wouldn't have gotten there. So she goes to the ground, and a whole bunch of people.
So in the second book, it's basically them on the ground. They're kind of figuring out, like, that way of life. It's not exactly our world.
Not our world, but it's basically our world in the 1920s, but with the Cold War.
That's that book. It was not as good as the first book, but still a solid book. I
gave it like 4 out of 5 stars.
I feel like it was like kind of like a filler because it had like a lot of really important information. Like you could not have the last book without this book.
Yeah.
But like it also, I feel like it definitely continued to really develop the characters.
Yeah, I really liked. What I found with these books is that after I got past the first 100 pages, then I like sped through the rest of it because it got really interesting.
Definitely.
And then the third book, I also gave it 4 out of 5 stars because they would like go back up to internment, and I don't know, like everything changes. These like characters who are like really young are like taking charge of their lives, and like not just their lives, like their worlds and their kingdoms, and like really, really affecting change. And like I found that really like enjoyable to read that.
Yeah.
But it was really fast paced. The last book.
Yeah, it's. Literally, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna have so much to read. Like, this is 300-page book. It's like, no, it's like 250, and like everything happens like right after another. So like really fast paced. Like I wish it was kind of dragged out a bit more. But like I guess like so much did need to happen in such like a short amount of time. It was like a good closing book. But like
I still kind of want more. You know?
Yeah.
So my favorite character is Pen, because she reminded me of Elsa.
Really?
Yeah, that's why I liked her.
Stop.
Yeah.
I love that. She's just really like, like one, she's like described as being like really smart. She's Morgan's best friend.
Really intelligent.
Really intelligent. She has like a lot of like life to her, and like isn't like afraid to speak her mind, and like it's like really refreshing.
She's really strong. She's a side character.
Yeah, as like a side character, because it's like she almost could be the main character. Like
because you're so invested in her.
Yeah, you're so invested in her, and she complements the main character so well. It's like you can't have one without the other, otherwise it's incomplete. So.
Yeah, I really loved her friendship with Morgan. Least favorite character. I hated Lex. I hate Lex. I think he's annoying. I think he was a horrible brother. We've talked about this before, where we think that Basil fills the gap where Lex was supposed to be in Morgan's life, because even though Morgan and Basil are like engaged, they have 0 romance. Like, literally none. They had sex at the end, and I was just like, why? What's the point? She treats him like a brother.
Yeah. Like she definitely, like, has, like, a love for him, but it's like I need you in my life because you know me so well. Like, literally, like, Jessi can serve the same role for me. Like, but I don't need to marry you.
Exactly, yeah. I feel like I wish Lex had either not been written or, like, had actually had a part.
I wish he had more of a part in the last book. He really, like, I feel like a lot of the characters stopped having a role if they were really minor in the last part of the book, and that's, like, really disappointing. Like, I would have loved to have seen, like, more of Alice and, like, found out what happened to Birdie and just, like, all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also wanted more Birdie. I thought that she was a really cool character, and
she's introduced in the second book.
I would have liked more of Birdie's story before everyone got there, you know? Like, I don't know. I really liked her and Nimble's sibling relationship.
I think, like, my problem is that, like, I dislike the people that aren't main characters. Like, I hate Thomas. That's Penn's picture.
Yeah, I hate Thomas,
like,
too.
He's the first one that comes to mind, but he also, like, does nothing. So, like, I feel like I'm not entitled to hate him. It's not like there's
you can hate someone who doesn't do anything, you know? Because, like, then they aren't doing anything for the story. Like, why are they there?
That's true.
Character that grew on you.
1, 2, 3, Celeste.
See, I knew that she was going to grow on you, because, like, we talked about this when I finished the series, and she had just finished the second book, and Celeste is just such an interesting character. Like, she starts off as, like, this really immature, like, selfish, spoiled. Yeah, she's spoiled. Yeah. There's another word, but I can't remember it. But yeah, she's spoiled, but she's also, like, really strong-willed, and so she, like, forces herself onto, like, the metal bird that they used to fly down to the Earth, and so she's on the metal bird, and then when she lands, like, her entire mission is to, like, be diplomatic and try and save her mom. And when that doesn't work, she is trying to save both the kingdoms. Yeah. And, like,
so it's just, like, you don't, like, when you first meet her, you get surface level her, but as Morgan, like, becomes better acquainted with her, becomes friends with her, like, her personality traits, like, really start to reveal, and that's when you get, like, the strong-willed part. And, like, how she actually has, like, really, like, I mean, they're probably not all very well thought out, because I think some of her decision-making is a little faulty, but she does have, like, really well thought out plans, and she has, like, clear motives and clear intentions for everything that she does. And I don't know, it's just like really refreshing because you want
you want to hate her.
First book, you want to hate her as much as Morgan hates her, but the more Morgan likes her, the more you like her too.
Yeah.
Which I think is great. Like,
and I liked a lot of her risky decision making. I thought it really
it made the book really interesting. Like plot twists galore with her because of that.
Yeah, and she was the source of all the plot twists. Headcanons. Okay, so I don't know if Elsa has any headcanons, but Penn is so gay for Morgan, and Morgan is very low-key gay for Penn. Okay, Morgan's actually probably ace, but she's so, invested in Penn, and, I don't know, she just, cares so much about her that it's, at least she's romantically, there for Penn. I think more than Thomas, more than Basil, more than, anyone, there's just, a lot of love between them that I think could have become a relationship. And should have.
I definitely see where you're coming from, especially, later on in the series. The first book, I was kind of Jessi, I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, first book was when I spotted it. I am an expert at spotting out gays, and also when the author is gay. All I have to do is read a few sentences, and I'll know whether or not the author's gay.
That's so funny.
This has happened to me every time I have read anything. I have the world's greatest literary gaydar. But yeah, no, it's definitely, way more obvious, in the second book, I think. And then in the third book, it felt like maybe there was a chance.
You know what? I say, because of how she left the third book, I am literally saying anything could happen.
I hope anything happens.
Point in time.
Okay, spoiler, not really a spoiler, headcanon. I hope that Morgan leaves Basil forever.
Same. I really like Morgan and Judas. It was the accused betrothed for the murder of the girl, because they just have a very raw sexual connection.
Yeah, and she's so intrigued by him.
Yeah, and I don't know, maybe I'm just always compelled to bad boy type of thing. I don't know.
I mean,
maybe that's just me. The fact that
appealing.
He's the rebel, etc. Like that. It was so clear and so obvious before anything happened between them. And the first book that she had this instant sexual connection to him.
Oh yeah, she was immediately attracted to him.
She was definitely attracted to him.
And she also immediately thought that he was innocent.
That's true too, which is really trusting. And the fact that she wanted to help him and save his life. Not only does that show Morgan's personality, but most people wouldn't do that with a person that's
a stranger.
A random stranger, probably a fugitive, may or may not have killed someone. Don't do that. But yeah, I also really just don't like her and Basil together, because I feel Basil gives everything to the relationship, and Morgan's just okay, thanks. Thank you for your love. I'm just gonna sit here.
And Gale. So overall, we thought it was a really good series, definitely worth reading. Not as good as the Chemical Garden trilogy, which every single book is a 10 out of 10 star book.
Yes, so
it's so good. Please like this video if you think this picture of our friend Lianna is very sexy. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Read the books.
Read the books. Burning Kingdoms, Burning Crowns. Okay, Burning Crowns. I got these pants today, and they were cropped. Okay, they're perfect length for me, so. There's a reason you're not in this video.